Hey guys, it's Christina. Welcome back. So this video is coming to you guys a little later than I expected. I expected to post this a little bit in the beginning of the month, but it's coming to you guys in the middle of the month, so I'm sorry about that. But as you saw by the title of today's video, we're going to be wrapping up the books I have read since August until November. You guys will know my December reads when I do the wrap up of the year, and you will know the books I asked for Christmas because I usually ask for a lot of books. This time I only asked for like 9 or 10, which are with the whole family, which is a little like less than I have the previous years. But I wanted to go over that list and the books I've read because your girl has been in a slump since July. So I've read a total of 6 books: August, September, October, and November, which is still pretty good, especially because obviously I came back to uni, I had stuff to do, stuff to read, etc, etc. I've been busy, but I've also been in a slump where I either didn't know what to pick up or I just felt like picking up my phone, which is, I know, a bad thing. But I've just been in a slump, so I've only read 6 books. Starting in August, where I finally read Saving Six by Chloe Walsh. I gave that a 4.25 stars. I love Joy's story so much in Aves as well, but I only gave it a lower rating because I feel like some of the things, you saw from Shannon's point of view, and I know like they happen in the same timeline, but seeing it repeated was a little, I don't know how to say it, not boring, but like I was like, okay, we know this. And also because it was very heavy, and I do like my sad books, but it took a toll on me. I was sad. There's also another reason I didn't read that much because I was just sad. Overall, the books made me really sad. But it's still a really great book. I'm so excited to keep on going with the series. I have Taming 7. I also have Releasing 10. But that's the one book I read in August. Then the other and last book I read in August was Made for Each Other, Lamb Painter's new release, or like new adult release, because she has a new one called Fake Skating that I still have to read. But Made for Each Other, I gave a 3.75. It was such a fun read. I love Lamb Painter. Everybody knows this. I'm not gonna rant about it, but I gave that a 3.75. Such a fun read. I think I read it all on my flight back home from seeing my dad, and it was just perfect. The perfect read. I was able somehow to get the book 3 days before the release at Barnes, so I think that added to the reading. But it was so cute. It was basically this woman. I didn't explain Saving Six, but because I would have to spoil the first 2 books of the boys Tommen. But Made for Each Other is basically about our main character, where she basically cleans this penthouse for this man, and she never sees him because she only really cleans when he's out on business, until she decides one day, like, what would happen if I just slept over, and I just slept, he's not gonna know. I leave this place clean as hell, right? Well, she wakes up the next day and she finds his parents. So they have to fake date, basically. And it was really cute. Then we move on to September, where I read Wild Eyes by Elsie Silver. And I gave this almost 5 stars, a 4.75. The reason I didn't give it 5 stars, I know it's kind of stingy, but I didn't give it 5 stars because it didn't give me that 5-star feeling. But I did really enjoy being back in Elsie Silver's world and being in that. I think Wild Eyes is the Rose Hill series, and I just really like that overall, even if it's just the second book. So I really enjoyed it. Wild Eyes is about basically a superstar that decides she needs a break, and she goes to Rose Hill and she meets I think he's the rancher of the Rose Hill Ranch. So that's basically what it's about. And then that's the only book I finished, at least. Then in October, I read Reckless by Lauren Roberts, and I absolutely ate this up. I gave it a 5 stars. I don't know why I took so long to read it, mostly because everybody was telling me it was not as good as they expected. It was long, blah, 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 but I felt like it was the best one out of the trilogy. I really, really liked it. The tension, the moments between Kai and Pei. I wish I could talk more about this book if I wasn't a spoiler. This book was so good. It follows the first book from the Powerless trilogy. Then in November, I somehow read Fearless by Lauren Roberts, wrapping up the series with a 4.75. I gave this a lower rating just because I know I enjoyed it less than the second one. But it was still such a good third book. I loved how it wrapped up. I loved being in the trials again, so, and obviously again seeing Pei and Kai, and for it being forbidden. If you know, you know. I really liked it. I just didn't like it as much as the second one. And then last, for November, I read Promise Me Never by Nicole Greeny. I gave this a 3 stars. I found this book randomly on Kindle. I really wanted to finish a book, and I knew it was going to be an easy read, and that it was. It's about this girl who she goes to her grandparents' ranch for the summer, and she is in her 20s. Like she's 20 or 21. I can't really remember. And she basically meets a guy that works at the ranch, and he's older. He is a widow, and they just kind of, a romance sparks. And it is the first of a duet. I just finished the second one in duet here now in December. You guys will obviously know about my December reads at the end of the month. But it was really cute. It's not like something memorable. It was 3 stars, but it was a cute romance that made me read a full book in like 2 days, which I was really needing because I hadn't done that in a long time. Now that we're done with the reads that I have read from August, we're gonna be going through the list of books I am asking for Christmas. So what I tried to do with this list is ask for books that I had already read, just like on my Kindle, so I could have my, my trophies, and so my TBR doesn't get too, my physical TBR doesn't get too overwhelmed, but that did not happen. The only book, I think I only asked for one book. I have actually ended up, like, the one book I have already read, which was All Shall Mourn from the None Shall Sleep trilogy. You guys have heard me talk about this trilogy quite a few times. It's a young adult mystery thriller. You have these 2 main characters who basically help the FBI analyze teenage serial killers. Like, they're teenagers who are serial killers. And it kind of follows online. It doesn't follow exactly that, but I don't want to give too much because it is just like really good if you go into it blind. And I recommend, if you guys have the Libby app, do the audiobook. It is creepy though. I do think YA is a bit of a stretch. I do think it's a more, like, it is YA, but like older YA, like say like 17 to 19 kind of vibe. Then to the books that I did ask that I haven't read yet, but I'm very excited for all of these. Some of these are in my 2026 like top priority, but I basically asked for 8 more books that I haven't read, which starting with Not Quite Dead Yet by Holly Jackson. Everybody knows Holly Jackson is one of my other favorite authors, and I've heard this one is an emotional read besides it being like a mystery thriller read kind of thing, and I'm just really excited. I've been seeing people really enjoy this book, so that also has me really excited. And then this one actually I added to my list because I've been seeing it everywhere, but I don't know what it's about. But I've also seen really good reviews, which is The Favorites. All I know is that it's about ice skating. I think that's all I know, but I've seen really good reviews. I don't even know if it's romance or general fiction. I don't know, but I did ask for it. The next book I asked for was Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Again, a new release by one of my favorite authors. I think I did talk about a while back how many new releases I had to read that I didn't even realize they came out like at the end of the summer until now. Also been seeing a lot of people enjoy Atmosphere, a lot of people crying, and honestly I believe it because I've cried to most of Taylor Jenkins Reid's books, so I believe it and I'm excited. Then I asked for 2 Chris and Hannah books, which is A Nightingale and The Great Alone. I am reading very slowly, but I'm reading The Women by her, and it is very slow in the beginning, but I'm really enjoying it. The way she describes things makes you feel like you're there, like it gives you like a very well done visual, and I think so far I really like her writing, and these 2 are some of the more popular books that she's written, especially The Nightingale, and I really been wanting to read that, and I feel like having the physical copy will finally motivate me to read said book. Finally, we're on the last 3, and the 2 out of the 3 books are Leigh Bardugo, again, of some of my favorite authors. I haven't been buying many books, so I have a lot of my favorite authors that I don't own yet, which I asked for The Familiar and Hellbent by Leigh Bardugo. Hellbent is the second book in the 9th House trilogy. I think it's gonna be a trilogy, I'm not sure, but it's the second book. I've asked for it last year. I was supposed to get this like special edition, never came. And I still haven't read it because I wanted the physical copy really bad. So I haven't read Hellbent, but I love 9th House, and I'm really excited to read the second one. I know Leigh Bardugo announced the 3rd one, but that she had to postpone it or something like that. I'm not sure what happened. I just know it gives me more time to catch up on my reading. And then I asked for The Familiar, which is her standalone book. Both Hellbent and The Familiar are adult fantasy, or like adult dark academia, because I feel like 9th House is like dark academia. It follows that compared to her like more young adult fantasy. And The Familiar, I actually don't know what it's about, but again, I feel like I could trust this woman blindly and I would enjoy anything she writes. So I asked for that book. That one came out a while ago, like maybe a year-ish ago. I just haven't gotten around to it. Fantasy and academia have kind of been in the back burner for me just because I had liked to dedicate time to it, and with school it's just not viable. Last but not least, an author I also hold close to my heart, Intomanzo by Sally Rooney. Also came out quite a while ago, but I haven't again gotten around to it. I feel like the 2 covers I've seen for it are like so cool, and I do like the premise of the book. If I remember correctly, it follows 2 brothers who have just lost their fathers or something like that. But I'm really interested. I love her stories, how they always follow 2 people. I love the way she writes, even though I know it's kind of a controversial topic. But yeah, those are the 9 books I asked for Christmas. That's all you're gonna see from me besides the final wrap up of 2025. So there's 2 more videos coming your way, hopefully. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all I have to say. That's basically a summary of what I've been reading these past few months and what I asked for Christmas. So pray for me that I get all these books, and I'll see you guys very, very soon. Bye!